You gotta love watching them full send boys get out there on the boat and do their thing, and today we're gonna talk a little about that. Those moments when you should send it in boating, and of course those moments when you should not send it in boating. Welcome back, crew, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. Now, sometimes the line on being a full send boy can be a little blurred on when you actually should get out there and send it, because you know them full send boys live life full send all the time. They don't slow down. All they want to do, lay into the throttle, hit it and get it every single time they're out there. But as you probably already know, in boating there are times you can send it and there are other times you need to kick back, relax, and enjoy the ride a little more versus just getting out there and trying to push it as hard as it can go every single time. Now, some of the times it is considered a little bit okay to get out there and send her just a little bit, like when you're out there doing water sports. Certain water sports require a little bit of speed to add into the fun factor, but you still gotta know your limits. Or in some situations, not necessarily your limits, but the limits of the people you're towing, and of course, the limits of the equipment you're towing as well. As you'll see in this one, they actually pulled the cover right off the tube.
The cover came off the thing.
Oh, the cover, yeah. Okay,
Alright, I gotta pull up.
Now, of course, as you can imagine, the boat ramp is most definitely one of those places you probably should not send it. If you wind up sending it down at the boat ramp, things are likely going to go wrong, and overall, you're not going to be completely satisfied with the way you wind up launching or even retrieving your boat if you become a full send boy down there.
That lady's walking over. All the way.
Now, of course, speaking of the boat ramp, you might be in a rush to get down there, and this is another one of those situations where I definitely would tell you not to be a full send boy. Never tow faster than you think you need to tow. Most trailers are gonna have a tow rating on it of a max speed you're allowed to tow at, and you never should exceed that. And if you're towing a much larger vessel or something maybe a little oversized, you're definitely gonna want to use a little more caution as well. What do you think? Is this over this vehicle's tow rating? Let me know in the comments. Now, when it comes to sending it at the boat ramp, that doesn't always involve power and speed. Sometimes that can mean maybe you jumped the gun a little too early on some of the moves you were trying to pull, and even then you can find yourself in a little bit of situation. So always take your time around the boat ramp, double and triple check everything before you do anything, including moving the trailer. Now, you see these images and you may think, man, this is the perfect time to send it. But that's only correct if you're staying within the markers of the channel. Our crew, as you just saw right there, hit a little bump in the road as they've slipped a little bit outside the channel markers. And unfortunately, even though they were on plane, had the throttle opened up, this crew, well, they went ahead and met something called the dock blocker over at Boynton Beach, which is one of our infamous sandbars we feature on our Miami Boat Ranch channel. Now that brings up another subject where the full send boys get seen doing some things that are a little strange, and that's when them full send boys do wind up on the sandbar. Of course, the full send boys, they don't believe in getting off that sandbar any other way than doing exactly what you would think they do, and that's full sending it, trimming the motor up, laying into the throttle, and letting her rip tater chip, but unfortunately, that's just not the right procedure. If you find yourself stuck on the sandbar, before you just lean into that throttle and try and send it off, which possibly could cause damage to the engine or the prop, get out of the boat, take a few seconds, and see if you can safely push the vessel off into deeper water first. Now, if you just absolutely can't and you need the engine power, do so, but do so in a safe manner. Now, another time you might see those full send boys send her a little too hard is when you're trying to beach the boat. Definitely don't want to get it too far up on the beach, it'll make it tough to get off. Now, a spot you can full send it, that's when you're trying to tuck in behind a bigger vessel and ride in their wake and letting them knock it down for you. You don't want to send it any faster than they're going, obviously, but you want to try and keep pace with them. And then, of course, anytime you're fighting the current, trying to maintain control of the vessel, this is one of those few times I do recommend laying into the throttle. Obviously, with a little more power, if you're battling the current, you're going to have more power to steer with and stay in control the whole time. This is one of those few situations where if you come in a little too weak on the throttle, you're definitely going to struggle to maintain control of the vessel while you battle the current. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Bobby Spake, Jack Forey, Clearwater Flats Fishing, Miami Boat Ramps, Ribazon, and Adam Coolidge did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.